Do you know who was the youngest artist ever signed by Sony ATV Music Publishing House? Let's take a step back to December 13th, 1989. A star was born in Reading, Pennsylvania. A star who would go on to reshape the landscape of pop and country music as we know it. A young girl named Taylor Swift. Fascinated by music from a very tender age, she was strumming guitars and penning heartfelt lyrics before most kids her age could even spell rhythm. This early passion for music didn't go unnoticed. At the tender age of 14, she made history by becoming the youngest artist ever to sign with Sony ATV Music. This wasn't just a lucky break, but a testament to her undeniable talent and fierce determination. So, who was the youngest artist ever signed by Sony ATV Music Publishing House? Yes, that was Taylor Swift, the youngest artist to be signed by the Sony ATV Music Publishing House. What was the name of Taylor Swift's debut album that made her a star overnight? Well, it's hard to forget the self-titled masterwork that launched her into the stratosphere. Yes, we're talking about Taylor Swift, released in 2006. This album served as Swift's introduction to the world, and what an introduction it was. It was a fresh breeze in the country music landscape, filled with raw emotion and relatable lyrics that resonated with a broad audience. The album's catchy melodies and Swift's undeniable talent quickly caught the attention of both listeners and critics. The success was staggering. The album topped the Billboard Top Country Albums chart and landed in the top 5 on the Billboard 200, a rare feat for a country music debut. It was clear that a new star was born. Taylor Swift, her debut album, made her an instant star. It was the beginning of an extraordinary journey, a journey that we're still on, captivated by her every song and every story. Can you guess the album that made Taylor the youngest Album of the Year winner at the Grammy Awards? Well, let's take a trip down memory lane. The year was 2008, and already popular Taylor Swift released her second studio album, Fearless. This album wasn't just a commercial success, it was a critical darling. It's an album that showed Taylor's growth as a songwriter and an artist. It included hits like Love Story and You Belong With Me, songs that resonated with millions of fans around the world. But the accolades didn't stop there. When the Grammy Awards came around, Fearless was recognized with not one, not two, but 4 golden gramophones. And one of those awards was the coveted Album of the Year, making Taylor the youngest winner of that award at the time. With Fearless, Taylor became the youngest Album of the Year winner at the Grammys. When did Taylor Swift make a major shift from country to pop music, you might ask? Well, the year was 2014, and the music world was about to be hit by a pop storm. Swift, who had spent the better part of a decade charming us with her country tunes, was ready to make a big leap. Her 5th studio album, 1989, marked this significant transition. Named after her birth year, this album was a clear departure from her country roots, embracing synth-pop sounds and catchy hooks. The risk was high, but so were the rewards. The album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling over 1 million copies in its first week alone. Singles like Shake It Off and Blank Space quickly topped the charts, making Swift a pop sensation overnight. This bold move not only broadened her fan base, but also redefined her as an artist. Taylor's transition to pop with the album 1989 was a huge commercial success. Which of Taylor's albums was the first to have all its tracks chart on the Billboard Hot 100, you may ask? That would be her 7th studio album, Lover, released in 2019. Lover was a vibrant, eclectic mix of pop, country, and indie elements that had fans and critics alike singing its praises. The album was a commercial success, selling over 1 million copies in its first week alone. In the following year, 2020, Taylor surprised us all by releasing her 8th studio album, Folklore. This album marked a departure from her previous pop sound, venturing into indie folk and alternative rock. The album was met with widespread acclaim, with critics praising its introspective lyrics and mature sound. Folklore was another commercial success for Swift, selling over 1 million copies in its first week, just like Lover. With Lover, Taylor had every track on the album chart on the Billboard Hot 100, a testament to her talent and the enduring love of her fans. Did you know Taylor Swift is not just a singer but also an advocate? Yes, that's right. Beyond being a superstar, Swift has a big heart, channeling her influence and resources into various causes. She's been known to make generous donations to disaster relief efforts. For instance, when Nashville was hit by devastating floods, Swift stepped in, offering a helping hand to her hometown. But her advocacy doesn't stop there. Swift has also been a vocal supporter of the LGBTQ+ community, using her platform to spread love, acceptance, and equality. She's penned open letters, spoken out publicly, and even incorporated pro-LGBTQ+ messages in her music, showing her unwavering support for this community. Swift's advocacy extends to her music as well, where she often highlights social issues, fostering awareness among her vast fan base. So remember, Taylor Swift is not just a singer-songwriter, but also a strong advocate for causes she believes in. So, how well do you know Taylor Swift now? Let's recap the top 10 facts we've discussed. We started with her humble beginnings, where her passion for music first bloomed. Then, we moved on to her debut album that marked the start of an illustrious career. Next, we delved into the success of Fearless, her second album that won her first Grammy for Album of the Year. We discussed her daring transition to pop music, a move that solidified her as a versatile artist. We then explored the masterpieces Lover and Folklore, albums that showcased her songwriting prowess and musical evolution. Last but not least, we looked at Taylor's advocacy work, reflecting her commitment to causes she holds dear, from artist rights to political activism. These were the top 10 facts about Taylor Swift, a true music phenomenon. She's more than a pop star. She's an artist, an advocate, and a force to be reckoned with.